Ito na po ang ating third game nitong ating triple header sa araw na ito. And this is game number 45 of the elimination round ng ating PhilBasket Subic Championship presented by Coco Life. At mula po dito sa Subic Bay Gymnasium, magandang gabi sa inyo lahat. Noel Zanate, kasama po si Javi Palanya. And our third matchup should be a doozy. It is the surging Pasig Sta Realtors going up against the roller coaster ride of the San Juan Knights. Go for gold, Javi.
That's right. It's going to be a very interesting game. I said earlier in today's second game that the bottom 3 teams are already guaranteed to be eliminated. The top 8 teams now in the standings are guaranteed of a place in the quarterfinals. Ang dinedetermine na lang natin yung placing na lang dun sa top 8 and who will get the twice to beat incentive sa top 4.
Well, let's talk about this Pasig Sta Realtors, the second hottest team in the league behind itong AICC Manila. AICC has won like what, 7 straight na yata sila. Pasig Sta is now in the middle of a 3-game win streak and their last win was just the other day against itong Medical Depot.
That's right. Pasig Sta Realtors has won their last 3 games by an average winning margin of 15.67 points, highlighted by a 20-point victory over FSD Makati Army. In this game against Medical Depot, it was a tight game in the first quarter. In fact, Medical Depot was ahead by a solitary point after that first period, but after that, Pasig Sta was fully in control of that game. Medical Depot had some runs to try and keep it close, but Pasig just wouldn't let them.
And of course, para naman sa kupunan ng Pasig Sta Realtors, coming off that win kontra dito sa Medical Depot, ito sila Rudy Linganay, Cedric Ablasa, they got their regular numbers there, and Jeric Teng finally hitting in double figures. Pero pag-usapan naman natin itong San Juan Knights go for gold. They won their first 3 outings dito sa ating PhilBasket tournament, but a roller coaster after that.
That's right. After losing that game, that double overtime game against the Davao Occidental Tigers, they vented their ire dito laban sa Muntinlupa defenders. And as you can see here, the numbers here on your screen, total domination by the San Juan Knights in that game. And Coach Randy Alcantara opting to give minutes to players who weren't able to have opportunity to play in their past few games. Tulad nitong si Jun Manzo, who top scored for them with 16 points. He had 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals. And we all know what this former UP Fighting Maroon is very capable of. He can play with the best of them dito sa liga na to, and we'll see ngayon kung paano yung point guard rotation na i-handle ni Coach Randy Alcantara, especially with the stellar play of Orlan Wamar.
And they are complete, both teams are. So this is our third matchup, Pasig Sta kontra dito sa San Juan Knights. Go for gold as we send it now to Ken Pangilinan for the introduction of the starters.
Magandang gabi mga ka-PhilBasket! Welcome to day 15 of the 2021 PhilBasket Subic Championship presented by Coco Life. This is the last game of our triple header featuring the Pasig Sta Realtors versus the San Juan Knights. Go for gold! Let's meet the starting lineups. First, the starting 5 for the Pasig Sta Realtors. At guard, 5'6" from San Sebastian College Recoletos, number 4, Ryan Costello. Also at guard, 5'10" from San Beda University, number 21, Ivan Ludovice. At forward, 6'3" from SDI College, number 11, Cedric Ablaza. Also at forward, 6'2" from SDI College, number 17, Japs Bautista. And at center, 6'7" from Arellano University, number 15, Justin Arana. Their coach is Bong de la Cruz. And now starting for the San Juan Knights, go for gold. At forward, 6'2" from the Ocampo College, number 22, Jonard Clarito. Also at forward, 6'5" from San Sebastian College Recoletos, number 34, J.M. Calma. At center, 6'7" from Mapua University, number 15, Christian Bunyag. At guard, 5'8" from Centro Escolar University, number 29, Alvin Nabundo. And at the other guard, 5'6" from Centro Escolar University, number 2, Orlan Wamar. Their coach is Randy
Let's take a look at our
Alcantara.
TM Easy Serve 99 starters, and it looks like San Juan is back to business.
That's right, and para naman dito sa panig ng Pasig Sta Lucia Realtors, your usual suspects here, but Ivan Ludovice getting the nod here to start para dito kay Coach Bong de la Cruz, and sa San Juan Knights naman, Clarito, Bunyag, and Abando rejoining the starting five para kay Coach Randy Alcantara.
Remember, itong si Jun Clarito did not even get off the bench in their last outing against Muntinlupa, so he's well rested as we begin our third matchup para dito sa araw na ito. It will be Pasig versus San Juan. I'm glad to have you with us right here in our continuing coverage of the Phil Basket Subic Championship presented by Coco Life. Our first quarter brought to us by TikTok. Sa lahat ng nanonood sa atin dyan sa TikTok, sa Facebook, at sa YouTube, kapit lang po. This should be an interesting one. Red jerseys po ang San Juan. White jerseys naman itong koponan ng Pasig, and they immediately go to Justin Arana, their 6'7" prodigy, and he scores the first basket of the game.
Justin Arana has been playing very well as of late. He had 8 points, very efficient, 4 out of 5 from the field here, but let's see if he can eclipse that production in this game against the San Juan Knights.
Here's Alvin Abando, so very limited playing time in their last outing against Muntinlupa. Another well-rested veteran. And that's going to be a 3-second violation. Nanood si Clarito sa mga kaganapan at turnover early for San Juan.
Well, it's understandably so that Coach Randy Alcantara opted to rest players in his regular rotation nung kanilang last game against the Muntinlupa defenders, what coming off a double overtime game, which was very high on emotions, high on intensity, and I'm sure the fatigue really set in for this team. And nagulat niya ako that Orlan Wamar still played meaningful minutes in that game. He had 15 minutes.
Yeah, but didn't do too well in those 15 minutes. In the meantime, we have an offensive foul called kontra dito sa Pasig to turn it over back to San Juan. 2-0 pa rin po ang ating score. Talking about Orlan Wamar as we have this inside incursion by Christian Bunyag, who played the best game of the conference or the best game of the tournament in that win against Muntinlupa.
That's right. Christian Bunyag doesn't really get a lot of minutes at the start, and especially a starting nod for the San Juan Knights. But last game proved that he can play. He scored 11 points in that game against the Muntinlupa defenders.
Meron din siyang 6 rebounds na nagawa doon, and he was also 5 of 7 from the field and had the highest plus-minus for his team at plus 34.
Wow.
That's ridiculous.
Wow.
And Bunyag able to get the first point of the game for the San Juan Knights. Go for gold from the free throw line. And here's that patented press para dito kay Coach Randy Alcantara that drives teams crazy, especially Davao. Tandaan natin, Davao hirap na hirap dito sa pressure defense na ito. That led to 2 overtimes before eventually Davao picked up the pieces and won that game.
Oh yeah, and I remember Robbie Celis telling me in that post-game interview na talagang puso na lang talaga nagdala sa kanila nun.
Wala na silang gasolina. Yung tinatawag na running on empty, nakasindi na yung empty light nila. Umabot ng second overtime and they somehow found a way to win.
That's right. Butin lang di tumirik yung kotse dun ng
Yun.
Davao Occidental Tigers because you could see clearly on their faces na talagang pagod na talaga sila.
And I think that indirectly led to the loss ng Davao nung isang araw.
Yeah, and yun nga against Burlington EOG, Davao Occidental Tigers, they were smoking hot to start that game. And I was beginning to wonder how long they could sustain that kind of energy because they ran at every chance they got in transition. They were getting easy points. In fact, they had the lead. Sabi ko nga, it looked like Burlington EOG pa yung galing dun sa double overtime game.
Hindi, pero nakakuha ng second gear doon sila Coach Britren Roma en route to the upset win, if we may call it, against the Davao Occidental Tigers. In the meantime dito, another fast break. This is Japs Bautista breaking free, 6-1 for the Pasig Sta Lucia Realtors. Salamat sa Coco Life, our official partner dito po sa Phil Basket Subic Championship.
Of course, Japs Bautista, one of the scoring leaders here para sa Pasig Sta Lucia Realtors, but only had 5 points in their last game. So looking to bounce back in this ball game para kay Coach Bong de la Cruz.
At ito ngayon, this will be another turnover here against the Knights.
Already 2 turnovers to start this ball game. I'm sure Coach Randy Alcantara not very happy about that. And let's look at that breakaway layup from Japs Bautista.
It always should feel good for Japs Bautista if his first basket is coming from a layup. He'll be required to shoot a lot a little later on. In the meantime, Costello ngayon lalabas kay Cedric Ablasa, already with a field goal earlier, tries to take it in closer, bothered by Bunyag. And here comes Alvin Abando. And away from play, Clarito and Bautista getting entangled.
Oh, John Clarito trying to seal Japs Bautista underneath to get position. But Clarito definitely getting the better of that matchup. There are referees blowing the whistle on a defensive foul.
We're going to keep an eye on these two. These are two very, very heady and very determined players. Abando gets the baseline. Nakiraan lamang. Tries to look for more space. He has 12 to shoot, and that's going to be an offensive foul. That's on Alvin Abando. So again, Alvin Abando did not see much playing time nung nakaraang game nila. He only played 10 minutes as we see what he did here. Nanghawi daw siya on the switch when itong si Arana came out. Only played 10 minutes. That's an only para kay Alvin Abando.
Oh yeah, because Alvin Abando usually plays the bulk of the minutes, and most of the time nagsasabay pa sila ni Orlan Wamar dun sa backcourt rotation.
Speaking of Orlan Wamar, he's still in the backcourt ngayon. Here is JM Calma. Can't get it to go. And that's going to be another foul called on San Juan.
That was an obvious foul there. It was a warding off dito kay Justin Arana. And see here right again once more. JM Calma going up for the basket, but Jonard Clarito warding away 6'7" Justin Arana on that rebound play.
Well, San Juan is still looking for their first field goal of the game. They get it out now to Ablaza. Battle for the loose ball, picked up once again by Arana. Dangerous pass inside, but Cedric Ablaza will finish.
Cedric Ablaza, after missing that shot off that pick and pop, able to cut inside. Justin Aranda locating him on that occasion. And Cedric Ablaza, di pinahiya.
Nakiraan ito si Abando. Jonard Clarito still looking for their first field goal. They get it. Three-pointer from Jonard Clarito.
Jonard Clarito, one of the veterans here and one of the holdovers para dito sa koponan ng San Juan Knights.
Yeah, one of the 5 holdovers ni Coach Randy Alcantara coming out of the Ocampo Memorial College. So itong ang Clarito, able to get the first three-pointer of the game actually, to make it an 8-4 count. Santa Lucia still up, but only by 4. Long three, Japs Bautista!
And when you're a shooter, and you get your first basket on layup,
yeah,
that automatically ups your confidence taking your first jump shot.
And he is fronting Jonard Clarito. We're still watching yung banggaan nilang dalawa rito. That's going to be a double foul. Even the referees are now watching this very closely. The problem is that will be number 2 on Japs Bautista. And speaking of Japs Bautista, look at how far away he took this one.
No hesitation for the former STI Titan. Sorry, STI Olympian.
Olympians, yeah. So Clarito's also picked up his second foul. So silang dalawa, Jeric Teng is going to see his first action.
Jeric Teng, as we said at the top of our coverage, played his best game of the tournament. I believe so far he had 10 points in that game against Medical Depot. And slowly we're starting to see flashes of his old self.
Orlan Wamar could not control that one. Speaking of Jeric Teng, he also added 5 rebounds and 1 assist dun sa panalong yon.
Admittedly naman talaga na he said during the start of the tournament he's still trying to get back in shape because he hasn't played competitive basketball in so long. I'm not even sure where his last stint playing competitive basketball was. I'm not sure if it was the PBA na or...
Out of the PBA na yung last niya, for sure. As Arana misses that one. Pero again, I would think half of the players in this league are hirap na hirap makabalik sa condition because they weren't really able to play during the pandemic as Alvin Abando hits the pull-up.
And syempre, when you medyo may edad ka na, it's doubly hard to get back into shape after missing action for so long.
How about Cedric Ablaza? He is just bulldozing his way into the paint and he has a 3-point play opportunity. 6 points already for the former STI Olympian. See this one more time. JM Calma pala, and he has a speed advantage over JM Calma.
That's really the advantage that Coach Bong de la Cruz has with Cedric Ablaza because he is a 4 but he can attack from the outside, he can hit the outside shot, but at the same time, he can also be physical inside.
Lapad din na pangangatawan. I mean, he's a natural 3, but they make him play the 4. He misses the free throw though. So nagkaroon ng konting balasa ng tao dito. Rudy Lingana is seeing his first action of the game as we thank our friends from the Subic Bay Metropolitan Authority and the Central Luzon Regional Task Force. Lead is 7. para dito sa Realtors. They go to Larry Rodriguez, who's seeing his first action of the game. Out to Abando. Battle of the two former PBA point guards. Abando versus Linganay. And no basket. Sabi ng ating mga referees, that's gonna be a foul on Rudy.
Yep, Lingane was caught holding itong back part area nito ni Alvin Abando as he went for the move there.
Problem is now both teams are in the penalty, so you now send etong si Alvin Abando to the free throw line. He's one of those late picks during the 2015 draft. Yung mga tipo akala mo he won't be able to find a team. He's undersized to play in the PBA, but Magnolia took a chance on him, and he eventually became part of the rotation and was instrumental in the championship in 2018. And this free throw brought to us by Wilson, the official basketball of the Phil Subic, or the Phil Basket Subic Championship. Yan na, nagkahalo-halo na. It does sound good, right? The Phil Subic. Phil Basket Subic Championship.
And that's why talking about guys like Alvin Abando, that's why for all our young viewers and listeners there, it doesn't matter how tall you are. Just have this dream, work hard, and eventually that hard work will pay off.
How about Justin Arana? It doesn't matter how tall he is either. He's going to find his way to the PBA one day at the very least. Here is Arvin Gamboa seeing his first action. Nagbintis naman doon sa kanyang drive. Shot clock did not reset. Alam yan ni Abando and Arana. This is something that he needs to work on. When you come out and then work with your point guard sa double team, you don't necessarily have to continue defending the point guard. Ayan, no?
That's right. Because when you go for that blitz and the point guard attacks that trap, you have to trust your teammate to help on the rotation on the backside.
So Arana's gonna take a seat. Here comes Jexter Apinan, another former pro. At Alvin Abando, na nagiging suki sa free throw line, and he would like this because San Juan, if they get to the free throw line, they actually have a better chance of winning.
That's right, but Alvin Abando still not making good on his opportunities at the line. That's already his second miss in 4 tries.
Produkto ng Centro Escolar University Scorpions, and he's missed again. This is not a good sign for San Juan. Down 8 and missing free throws. Teng working against Nocum, who's seeing his first action of the game. Ito si Adrian Nocum. Teng on the penetration, heard the whistle, put it up. And the entire coaching staff, netong San Juan Knights, up in arms. So they're wondering where that call came from. Young Garcia in particular is very vocal about it.
And they're still complaining here.
Well, Felix Apreco will see his first action of the game.
A lot of early subs para dito sa Pasig Sta Lucia Realtors.
Yeah. So Felix Apreco seeing some early action here. Papalitan to si Cedric Ablaza as Jeric Teng out of the University of Santo Tomas. Look at the colors of his uniform. Parang pamilyar eh, no? It's very, very UST-like. Well, the coach is also UST-like.
Yeah, but the green not so much a color he likes to wear.
May halong dilaw sa bandang shorts eh, oh, di ba?
Yeah,
really looks like it, di ba?
The yellow and the white, but yung green medyo may
nadapuan ng FEU ng konti. Saka nalasal. Under 4 minutes remaining. Here in the first. 10-point lead anu para dito sa koponan ng Pasig Sta Lucia Realtors, and it is lost by Rodriguez. Villanueva seeing his first action of the game as well. Teng will set it up. Tough task here para kay Adrian Nocum to stay in front of the veteran. Teng on the drive. Lalabas. Apinan was momentarily open. Villanueva now. 5 on the shot clock. Runner is good.
Good move there. Good move there by John Ray Villanueva. Played 14 minutes in the last game. However, it was just 1 out of 7 from the field.
Look at the scorching field goal percentage for Pasig so far.
Well, they have played excellent defense dito against San Juan, and that's why nahihirapan sila to establish a rhythm offensively. Talking about the red shirts.
That's another out-of-system shot there coming from Arvin Gamboa. So 19-7, so far so good for the Realtors here with under 3 minutes remaining sa ating first quarter. Jeric Teng gets it out. Jexter thinking about it. And that will be a dribbling violation. So here comes Jun Manzo. And before we talk about Jun Manzo, we segue into this timeout. But first, Look at the penetration and the kick out for the drive para dito kay John Ray Villanueva, who gives Pasig their biggest lead of the game, 19-7. And this timeout is brought to us by Astig Roasters. And that, of course, is Commissioner Jai Reyes taking in the action dito. Nakaupo na dyan sa officials table, and he's joined now by Mr. Anthony Sulit as we have a 19-7 scoreline in favor of itong kupunan ng Pasig Sta Lucia Realtors kontra sa San Juan Knights. Go for gold. Noel Zanate kasama pa rin po si Javi Palanya. I would just like to congratulate one of my favorite volleyball players for getting married today. Gia Morado is now Mrs. De Leon.
Really?
She got married today, November 11.
Well, congrats to her.
Yeah, congratulations. And of course, the Ateneo community is rejoicing with that. But again, happy life, happy married life para dito sa ating national team stalwart na si Gia Morado. As we have a whistle on a jump ball. As we see this play once again sa pag-feed dito ni Adrian Nocum, all hell breaks loose.
Well, Coach Bong de la Cruz looking for a travel there, but Nocum not really having clear possession of the basketball.
There's Larry Rodriguez, played only 5 minutes in their last outing. Two fakes para dito kay Nocum, dudukot sa ilalim, and that will be, make that Paulo Hernandez ang dudukot sa ilalim. And he will be fouled.
I'm actually surprised Coach Randy Alcantara still fielded in Larry Rodriguez in their last game. He was fielded in at the start of the third quarter. And akala ko ipapahingan niya na lang si Larry Rodriguez. Well, he had his best game of the tournament in that game against the Davao Occidental Tigers. 16 points.
Yeah. Pero again, Larry Rodriguez, kailangan magpapawis din naman ng konti. I remember last night in our pickup game, we were actually joined by another player. Itong si Rafi Reyes, yeah, was actually joining us. So sinabi ko, lugi naman. I didn't play, by the way. Si Javi lang po naglaro sa si Eman. Pero parang lugi naman tayo. May field basket player dito. Nakilaro.
Nakilaro eh. Pero kaya nga akala ko maglalaro na siya today.
Yeah.
He didn't see action in today's ballgame, although he was suited up.
Still nursing the heel injury. Ito si Rafi Reyes. Coming up on 2 minutes remaining dito sa ating first quarter. Apinan thinking about the three. Shot clock down to 7. The stingy defense is back for San Juan. Teng lets it fly. Almost. Rebound picked up here by the San Juan Knights. Go for goal. Jun Manzo all the way.
Wow, what a quick move there by Jun Manzo, just racing ahead of everybody.
And he is able to cut the lead down to single figures, 19-10. A rare field goal actually para sa San Juan Knights. Go for gold. Rudy Linganay can't get it to go. Apreco underneath, and he is hammered.
San Juan only 3 of 9 in this game. Samantalang 8 out of 12 na itong Pasig Sta Lucia Realtors.
Let's see if we can keep up with our TikTok move of the game. Ayan, talagang extra slow motion pa ang kinailangan. Jun Manzo off the wrong leg pa yun, Javi. Able to get it done.
Did you see yung hakbang niya? Those long strides.
Yeah.
Coupled with his speed. Talagang wala na talagang magagawa yung depensa doon.
Well, he showed the full package kontra sa kanilang huling opponents na Muntinlupa defenders as Apreco splits the free throws. Another whistle. Apinan matatawagan ng foul dito. So we head to the other side now for more free throws. 1 minute and 36 remaining. Larry Rodriguez naman ang pupunta dito sa free throw line. May iniindang all sorts of injuries din ito si Larry Rodriguez coming into this game. You know, he has a back issue. I think he has also an issue with the shin. Remember, he got hit in the shin.
Yep, and looks like he has an issue with his shoulder too. It's heavily taped, that right shoulder.
Yeah. Pero ginamit pa rin for about 5 minutes in the last game. just to see if he would be good to go. This is a crucial matchup actually para dito sa kupunan ng San Juan Knights go for gold. They are both tied at 4 and 3. So Rodriguez able to hit both.
And I'm sure, you know, these teams, importante talaga sa kanila to get into the top 4 because you don't want to be at the bottom 4 sa ating quarterfinals.
Oh, yeah.
Kasi with all the upset that has happened in this tournament, it's very hard to play a team twice to get into the semifinals.
Manzo defying the speed of light once again. Pati si Rudy Lingganay hirap na habulin.
And Rudy Lingganay is not a slow guy.
Yeah. He's never been a slow guy.
Yeah.
So Jun Manzo back at the free throw line for the first time tonight. You did mention the 18 points na ginawa rito ni Manzo in the last outing. Check that, 16 points para dito kay Manzo. That also had 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals. And he was efficient, 6 of 10 shooting from the floor.
And I think Coach Randy Alcantara really wanting the full force of his rotation coming in to the playoffs kasi syempre you would need all the guys you can get, and that game na nga against the Davao Occidental Tigers, nakita naman natin na kailangan mo talaga everybody on your team to step up because all these teams are peaking at the right time.
That's right. And of course, yung kupunan ng Pasig is now finally showing its fangs as Lingganay has 3 to shoot. Puts it up. There's going to be a whistle underneath once again, and stay right here. It'll be a foul on San Juan.
Well, nothing really Jun Manzo could do there. He was going up against Dexter Apinan and he was on the backside and tinatry niya mag-over the back. So our referees blew the whistle on that
position. You have no chance, boy. Well, Dexter Apinan naman nasa free throw line ngayon. Makes good on his first. Nakadikit na ng konti San Juan dito. They got it down to 6. There's still time remaining here in this first quarter. Again, Pasig Santa Lucia, 3 straight wins. They had the controversial loss twice. Actually, a controversial loss was against Nueva Ecija Best Friend, where they practically lost at the buzzer, courtesy of Rhenz Palma. And then that controversial loss where they fouled in the final seconds contra sa, was it Davao? They were up against Davao,
That's
yeah.
right.
Ato Ular also had a good performance the last time, especially this guy also, ito si Paulo Hernandez, who showed this shooting prowess, coming away with 12 points in the win against Muntinlupa.
Oh, this guy can definitely shoot, and he's made a name for himself in the NCAA because of that. I'm still wondering why Coach Bong de la Cruz subbed out Cedric Ablaza right away. He has 6 points in this ball game. He has no fouls, but was subbed out in favor of nitong si Dexter Apinan.
Well, alam mo naman yung mga coaches, may mga minutes timing din na minsan against the minutes played din yan. It doesn't matter really if you're hot, unless you're extremely hot. Like kunyari, you bring in a Jeff Viernes and it's like 5 in a row. You're not gonna put him out on a minutes rotation.
That's right, and especially with the short format that we have, syempre kailangan talaga you keep everyone fresh as you can, especially your key players.
At malapit na nga tayo sa playoffs. So these teams are already guaranteed of a spot in the playoffs. What spot? That is the question now. Can they still make it to the top 4? As Hernandez dances in. Wala. 5 seconds remaining here in the first. Jeric Teng has time. Jeric Teng gets ambushed. And the shot by Manzo, good if it goes. Wala. So Santa Lucia, or the Pasig Santa Lucia Realtors, off to a pretty good start here, 22-14. Has been a blend of offense and defense, but mostly their offense has been coming from a lot of layups and a lot of transitions. As we see here, ito si Japs Bautista getting his first points of the game, courtesy of the layup. San Juan hirap na hirap score from the field. One of their rare field goals coming from the veteran, etong si Alvin Abando. But Pasig really taking it strong inside. Look at this move by John Ray Villanueva as well. San Juan got to the line a lot, but then when the entry of Jun Manzo happened, things sped up for the Knights, and they were able to keep it close, down by only 8 at the end of the first 10 minutes of action, 22-14. Second quarter happens when we return. Back with us here at the Subic Bay Gym. 22-14 sa pagpasok natin dito sa ating second quarter. Boss Buddy Encarnado, team owner of the Santa Lucia or the Pasig Sta Realtors, taking in the action while texting someone. Probably texting Javi Palanya saying, ayusin mo yan, but I'm trying to do my best Buddy Encarnado impersonation there. And of course, second quarter na po tayo. Atid sa atin ang Grab Kitchen. Three-pointer, Tyrone chancing his first action of the game.
Oh, this guy has been getting a lot of minutes from the bench para dito kay Coach Bong de la Cruz.
Backdoor cut dapat para dito kay Jun Manzo, and he has been very, very pesky and shifty. John Ray Villanueva matatawagan ng holding hands.
Well, looks like Jun Manzo looking to pick up where he left off in the last game.
Well, here's Rhenz Abando, who actually saw 16 minutes in the win against Muntinlupa and scored 8 points.
Yeah, but still, we still haven't seen the kind of the Rhenz Abando we really know of from his days with the UST Growling Tigers. Of course, now he's gonna play for the Letran Knights in the coming NCAA tournament. But malayo pa talaga dun sa talagang abilidad ni Rhenz Abando.
Well, the conditioning is something that he's still working on. I remember this kid, Rhenz Abando, when he first made his presence felt sa NBTC, the National Basketball Training Center. Lahat ng mga high school all-stars. He made mythical team in the whole Philippines.
And he was still virtually unknown before that.
So ngayon, let's see if he can actually find his legs sooner rather than later, as Christian Bunyag is going to check back in for Larry Rodriguez. So it's going to be youthful lineups para sa magkabilang kupunan. Of course, don't tell that to Cedric Ablasa. Entry pass. Good denial that time. Ang bohot, ang daming sumakay sa kanya. The foul came before the walk.
Well, speaking of youth here, we have former Gilas youth standout Gio Ambohot now seeing action on the floor, and he draws the foul on that play inside.
How tall is this kid? 6'6"?
Yeah, around that.
They get it out to Ablaza. And the setup ngayon galing dito kay Ivan Ludovice. Villanueva on the fake. Pasig has not had a single three-pointer yet. Oh, they had one three-pointer earlier. Galing kay Japs Bautista, but so far, that's the second one coming from Villanueva.
That's right. Narinig ka na ni John Ray Villanueva on that occasion.
So Villanueva now ups it to an 11-point lead. Abando trying to bang bodies there with Chan. That's not a good idea. They swing it around now. Papunta ulit dito kay Orlan Wamar, who has still been quiet, still struggling offensively. Manzo on the penetration. The floater is there.
6 points now in the ball game for the former UP Fighting Maroon.
And lead is down to 9. 25-16. Ablaza looking for Villanueva. Not much movement sa offense para dito sa Pasig Sta Realtors. Villanueva, deep three. That is tracked down by Manzo. The running continues here for the San Juan Knights. Go for gold. Muntik na maiwan yung bola. Here's Abando. And he is bumped by Tyrone Chan as we thank our friends from Coco Life, our official partner here in the Phil Basket Subic Championship. So that will only be the second team foul, Avi.
Yeah, Coach Bong de la Cruz arguing that it was lateral movement para dito kay Tyrone Chan. But it was an obvious foul, body bump there. Nasa gilid na kasi.
Kahit mag-lateral si Tyrone Chan, sa lapad niyang yan. Pag may nabangga siya, pagdududahan eh. Here's Abando for three. Battle for the rebound. Rhenz tries to save it, and he does get it off someone's leg. Chan is still in bounds. And here comes Cedric Ablasa now para sa Realtors. Villanueva had a difficult time fielding that one at sabi ni Ludovice. Let's slow things down. 7:40 remaining here in the first half. Oh, away from play, Nanagasa. I'm telling you, Tyrone Chan, no matter what he does, if he bumps into somebody, pagdududahan, paghihinalaan, at doon nahuli.
And Coach Bong de la Cruz is not a happy man.
Right.
Ayan, pinapakita niya pa rin.
Na-improper bench decorum naman ngayon itong Pasig Sta Realtors. I mean, look at it from this angle. I mean, boom! I mean, he's trying to establish position, right? But, you know, sobrang heft na yan. He bumps into somebody. He's either going to be called for a foul or they're going to start watching him from that point on.
And there was the use of a shoulder.
Yes.
If he sealed Rhenz Abando using his body from the backside, then sana pwede
Ooh.
pa eh.
That's a hard fall coming from Orlan Wamar as he was challenged taking a 3 by Cedric Ablaza. It looks like he's okay, but we heard that thud all the way across the floor. You know, legs got entangled. It's a good thing marunong bumagsak itong si Orlan Wamar. So again, he is struggling from the field, struggled in his last outing, only going 1 out of 8. And the free throw should get him back in rhythm.
That's
Tatlo
right.
yan.
And he did match Patrick Abahug's scoring record. Well, at that time, was the highest scoring output by any player here dito sa PhilBasket Subic Championship. He matched that with 31 points and was a big reason why they were in control for most of the fourth quarter up until the second overtime when the Davao Occidental Tigers switched it on there and Robbie Celis took over.
Right. Well, of course, the new tournament record is held by Jeff Viernes with 32. Jeff Viernes earlier today scored 21 and was player of the game. As itong kupunan ng M-Trans Boracay de la Ia Batangas City Tanduay Athletics is still currently at the number 8 spot. I mean, how sick is that? That's one of your top 4 teams on paper.
That's right, and you know, it's gonna be a terror for whoever faces them in the quarterfinals. But of course, they're still trying to see if they can make the top 4 here. Well, we'll see our standings later if it's still mathematically possible.
Cedric Ablaza almost had that one to go. Ambot able to pick it up once again. Ludovice. Ablaza is now the focal point of the offense here for the Realtors. Gets it out. Costello fires a 3. No. And here comes Wamar. Nagmamadali into the front court. Ang bilis ng transition defense dito ng white shirts. A miss again by Orlan Wamar. Costello, and they save it. Ilang beses na yan na parang nagtitinikling yung Pasig dun sa baseline and they're still able to get it in. 6:20 to play in the second. Ablaza, 3-pointer, offline. Ito na ngayon si Alvin Abando. Sees 3 white shirts, pulls back, and then attacks. Again, unsuccessful para dito kay Alvin Abando, also looking to hit his stride in this game.
He has had a lot of shots in this ball game, but still unsuccessful, as you said.
Under 6 minutes remaining. Ambohot airballs that one. Good defense there by San Juan. And a foul in the backcourt.
Not really sure what J.O. Ambohot was thinking with that shot. Pagsalo niya pa lang, parang wala na talagang kumpiyansa yung tira eh.
And this early with 5:47 remaining in the second. That's bad news for the Realtors. They're already over the limit. And they are sending one of the best free throw shooters in the league to the free throw line. Itong si Orlan Wamar.
Already 14 fouls committed in this ball game para dito sa Santa Lucia Realtors.
Nagugulat ka?
Hindi.
Expected na yan. I mean, these two teams, they don't really have a rivalry, so to speak. Hindi katulad ng San Juan versus Manila, San Juan versus Davao. But they are teams na, alam mo mga heavy guts dito sa liga.
Oh yeah,
so,
definitely.
pag magkiskisan yan, fireworks could happen. As we move into this timeout, suddenly, the lead of Santa Lucia is down to just 4, 25-21. This timeout is brought to us by Astig Roasters. Dito sa ating first half of action, suddenly it has been a low-scoring and close game. Just when you thought that the Pasig Santa Lucia Realtors were going to blow this game open when they had that 12-point lead, here comes San Juan with a mixture of hustle and a mixture of aggression, getting to the free throw line early. At eto na lang, 4 na lang yan. Eto na naman yung press nila.
That was a 6-3 lead there coming from the San Juan Knights to cut this lead to 4 points. 5:38 left to go in our first half.
Ablaza gets it over to Costello. Ludovice, no subs during that last timeout para dito kay Coach Bong de la Cruz, and they get it inside to Tyrone Chan.
Excellent interior passing there for the Realtors. Jexter up and unable to find Tyrone Chan underneath for the easy score.
So a little bit of breathing space again established by the Realtors, 27 to 21. Larry Rodriguez back in, finds Abando from 15. Nobody marking Alvin Abando.
He was just standing there and asking for the basketball. He did get it and made that mid-range shot.
Yan pa naman yung pinaka-deadly area nito si Alvin Abando. One of the, di ba sinasabi lang, the mid-range is a dying art. Not to Alvin Abando. Nice shovel pass inside. It's broken up though. Ludovice with a quick one. Papunta kay Costello. Unable to beat the oncoming defense of Jonard Clarito. And Pasig will lose possession.
And it looks like Jonard Clarito was able to get a piece of that shot by Ryan Costello.
So Japs Bautista will return. Papalitan to si Tyrone Chan. John Orbeta will see his first action of the game. Kita-kita natin doon how Jonard Clarito just found a way to time that. So Wamar goes down again. Si Wamar kanina pa pinapakilala kanyang uniforme sa sahig.
Favorite niya yun eh. Kahit naman yung game nila against Davao eh.
Right. Rodriguez can't get it to go. And again, a held ball situation. And possession arrow will stay with San Juan.
And
sino yan? Si Clarito na naman ba yan? At saka naku, sila na naman. Clarito and Bautista again. And the thing is, they didn't know it was the other person until nakita nila. Okay, ikaw pala yan, ha?
And Japs Bautista even said a few words dito kay Jonard Clarito.
Jonard Clarito will not say anything. He will just do something. John Orbeta in. Wamar, three-pointer, good! Here comes San Juan, Javi.
There's that familiar corner overload play by the San Juan Knights. Orlan Wamar being the recipient of the pass there and knocking down that tray.
From a high of 12, the lead is down to 1 para sa Pasig Santa Lucia Realtors. Bautista wants it back, and he gets it back.
I'm sure Japs Bautista is very riled up, especially after that scuffle on the ground against Jonard Clarito.
And we'd like to thank our friends from the Subic Bay Metropolitan Authority and the Central Luzon Regional Task Force. And the shootout is on. Wamar back-to-back threes.
That's now 8 points in the ball game for Orlan Wamar. He hit those 3 free throws, and that seemed to boost his confidence up.
So he should have actually 9 points in the game because he hit 2 threes. As Cedric Ablaza is able to score underneath. So 32 to 29. Ito ngayon si Alvin Abando setting it up kontra kay Ludovice. Entry pass is batted out. That's going to be a tough cover also para dito kay Cedric Ablaza. Trying to watch ito si Larry Rodriguez. And let's take a look at our Grab Kitchen delivery of the game. Jexter up in on the wraparound. Papunta rito kay Cedric Ablaza. Bukas na po mga branches ng Grab Kitchen sa Commonwealth and Bacoor, and soon to open the Pampanga branch. Unproductive effort there for the Knights. And here come the Realtors. Good steal inside. Apinan is denied though by Clarito. Recovery made by Rodriguez. And here come the red shirts. Abando, third gear, fourth gear. Lalabas ulit muna rito. Orbeta. They left Larry open from 20. He usually makes that.
I stand corrected. Orlan Wamar already has 11 points in this game.
So not bad after shooting 1 of 8 in his last outing. Pick and roll action. Apinan. Free throws coming up.
Jexter Apinan trying to redeem himself on this occasion. Medyo minadali niya after that seal against Clarito on the previous possession.
Wow, Clarito just picked up his 3rd foul, and we still have 2:33 remaining in the second quarter. So JM Calma papasok. Ato Ular will also check in.
And we all know how valuable Jonard Clarito is to the rotation of Coach Randy Alcantara.
Especially from an energy standpoint.
It's not just his points on the offensive end. He counts on him to do a lot of the hustling, the rebounding, the defense.
This is an interesting move here from Bong de la Cruz. May twin towers na siyang pinasok dito ngayon. You got 6'5", Jexter Apinan, and 6'7", Justin Arana. As Apinan misses 2 free throws. Eto na ang San Juan, a 3 will tie, and Orlan Wamar is hit back-to-back. Triples. He puts it on the floor. Wamar with a layup. Oh, make that. That's Jun Manzo. Naku, nakakalito na talaga silang dalawa.
Well, they are former UV Baby Lancers, these two guards.
Number 2 and 3 pa. Magkahugis pa ng buhok. Good luck sa atin. Apinan can't get it to drop, and they'd have to get it the hard way here.
Well, looks like what Coach Cubong de la Cruz wants to do here is to slow up the pace a bit as we look at this drive by Jexter Apinan.
Oh, that was halfway down.
Almost getting the basket there.
Ular is looking for an offensive foul, but he will be charged with this one. His first. Apinan missed his last 2, makes the first of 2 this time. Pasig Santa Lucia up by 2, 2:06 remaining here in the first half.
I'm expecting to see Coach Bong de la Cruz slow the pace up a bit with the entry of these 2 towers. I'm expecting them to go a lot to Justin Arana at the post. Kasi alam niya siguro na there is really no player on the San Juan Knights team who can guard Justin Arana one-on-one on the low block.
Oh, how about John Orbeta? Nobody marked him. As San Juan has now tied the score at 34. The once mighty 12-point lead for the Pasig Santa Lucia Realtors is gone. John Orbeta parking at the corner and hitting that 3-pointer. We have a tied score, 34-all, timeout called. And the timeout is brought to us by Astig Roasters. A minute and 52 na lang po natitira dito sa ating first half of action. What was once a 12-point lead for the Pasig Santa Lucia Realtors has now evaporated. We are tied at 34 and the pressure is still on for the Knights. Noel Zarate pa rin po kasama si Javi Palanya. Last game of our triple header for today. Tomorrow, guys, we will only have a double header. Baka mag-abang kayo ng 3:30. The game will begin tomorrow at around 5 in the afternoon. Ano ba? 5:30 ba yung first game natin?
5:50, I believe.
5:50. That will be our first game tomorrow. We will keep you updated on the schedule as Jerick Teng is able to get it off the post.
See, that's what they're doing, reverting back to what they were doing at the start of this first quarter.
And the Twin Towers are still present para dito sa kupunan ng Pasig Santa Lucia. Manzo attacks, high off the glass! Wow, what a game so far for Manzo off the bench here, Javi.
Yeah, that's right. He already has 10 points in this game. So the UV Baby Lancer connection already combining for 21 points dito sa ating first half.
Less than a minute remaining here in the first half. Costello gets it out, and that's an offensive foul on Japs Bautista. That's his third.
Offensive foul on number 17, Japs Bautista.
That was pretty obvious.
He really swung his arms that time. Let's see it again. Boom.
But Oscar-winning performance there by Jun Manzo.
That is an offensive foul. And Coach Randy Alcantara says, yes, they are correct. Come here, play defense. See this again, oh. Kaninong kasalanan to? Yung screener o yung may hawak ng bola?
Minsan both eh.
Okay. Yeah.
Because sometimes it's how the one with the ball uses the screen.
Yeah.
Because syempre a-adjust yung screener dyan eh.
We saw a shot earlier of Randy Alcantara who refuses to sit down, but he'll just kneel every now and then. 8 seconds on the shot clock right now. Ablaza on the drive. He is bothered that time by JM Calma. Shot clock and game clock now separated by about 3 seconds. They won't use it as Calma is hit as he went up. Is that on Ablaza? Because if it is, that could be his second. Oh, it's worse.
That's the right call there because Cedric Ablaza got him clean on the block. But look at Justin Arana at the back. That push.
Well, that's worse because that will be number 3 on Justin Arana. And the only category where Pasig has an advantage over San Juan is in the height department.
That's right. And that's why I was wondering why they did not go to Justin Arana on the low block on the previous possession.
Well, Arana is now going to be replaced. That is, of course, if Calma makes the second free throw. We have 23.1 remaining dito sa ating second quarter. GM Calma out of San Sebastian College, Recoletos, one of the stags on this team. It's very rare that you see stags and Cardinals playing together.
That's
That's
right.
what's happening here with San Juan.
James Calma actually had a chance to win that double overtime game for the
Yes.
San Juan Knights, but he picked the wrong time to come cold at the free throw line.
Yep. Pressure. Shot clock is off. Apinan rescues them again by bringing it across himself. 12 seconds. Teng is isolated now against Manzo. No fouls to give for either team. Teng, yes! And with 5.9 remaining here in the first half, Coach Randy Alcantara will use his final timeout. Jeric Teng getting the first step and uses that wide body to create the separation against Jun Manzo. And we are tied once again at 38. This timeout is brought to us by Astig Roasters. Ay TikTok boy na.
Babaliw na yan.
Oo nga eh. This one, can San Juan get the final say? They're gonna roll it over to Manzo. Picks it up, 4 seconds, 3 seconds. Manzo on the alley-oop play, too high. Para dito kay Adrian Nocum, that was a design play, 1.4 remaining. Teng will throw it. And
Wow.
Chan had to hesitate. Almost had it. But at the end of the first 20 minutes of action, we're back to square one. 38 all. And this matchup between the San Juan Knights Go for Gold and the Pasig Santa Lucia Realtors. And what a first half it has been. It was a game of runs. Actually, yung first half nga natin, it was a 12-point lead para dito sa Pasig. Now we're all tied at 38. We're at the half, and we'll be right back. At the half, we are tied at 38 dito po sa labanan natin sa third game between the Pasig Santa Lucia Realtors and the San Juan Knights. Go for gold na natin pa rin po kasama si Javi Palanya. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from that recently concluded first half of action, Javi.
Of course, Japs Bautista helping them to erect that early lead early on in this ball game. He had 8 points, but Jun Manzo upon his entry, zooming in and running on the break, scoring on a lot of those baskets. He did have 10 points in the first half. Ito naman si Orlan, Wamar, his fellow UV Baby Lancer, they combined for 21 points in this game. But Cedric Ablaza, again, the steady force para dito sa Santa Lucia Realtors. But again, Jun Manzo, look at that, adjusting because of the height advantage that Santa Lucia had in the paint. And Jeric Ting showing flashes of his old self with that floater. And the game is all tied up dito sa ating first half.
Let's take a look at some of our numbers brought to us by TM Easy Surf 99.
And look at those numbers right there. Pasig Sta starting off good in this game, but the San Juan Knights were able to catch up towards the tail end of the second quarter. Free throw story here. 19 free throws already given up ng Pasig Sta Realtors dito sa San Juan Knights. Go for gold. Rebounding story almost the same. And the assist, you see a lot of ball movement from both of these teams because both of these teams like to run the flow of their offense and get points from all of their players on the floor.
And let's take a look at our leading scorers. You did mention na itong koponan ng San Juan Knights are led by their two small players.
And Alvin Abando, although he did miss a lot of his shots during the start of the game, able to catch up, now has 5 points. And John Clarito rounding up the pack for the San Juan Knights with 3. Cedric Ablaza and Japs Bautista, the STI Olympian connection, with 8 points to lead the Pasig Sta Realtors. Former King Tiger Jeric Teng with 6 and John Ray Villanueva with 5.
And the leading score is brought to us by Grab Kitchen. Bukas na po ang kanilang tindahan sa Commonwealth and Bacoor, and the Pampanga branch is opening soon. So, can Ablaza go ablaze in the second half? That's of course what Pasig Santa Lucia is expecting. However, the problem really for the Realtors here is that their big men unti-unti na nagkaka-foul trouble. We're talking about Justin Arana, who already picked up 3 fouls in that first half.
That's right. And yun nga, nung start ng ball game natin, we thought that they were gonna assert Justin Arana inside, and he did score on the opening basket doon on the low block. But since then, he has had 3 fouls and has had a hard time establishing his rhythm towards the tail end of the first half.
Justin Arana, of course, also picked up a player of the game honor in one of their 3 wins. Tandaan natin, the second hottest team in the league. Ito pong koponan ang Pasig Santa Lucia Realtors. But they are up against a very, very heady team on a roller coaster, as we mentioned earlier. The San Juan Knights go for gold. Both teams had 4 wins and 3 losses. And looking up at those leaders, you're talking about AICC Manila, Davao Tigers, they're all waiting kung makakakuha nga sila ng favorable position in the playoffs.
That's right, and San Juan definitely wants to lock in on that top 4 spot here. And Pasig Santa Lucia Realtors not really far off from that. They just want to get rid of that logjam in the middle.
Third quarter, of course, is brought to us by Wilson, the official basketball of the PhilBasket Subic Championship. Teng, kasama si Linganay, kasama si Villanueva, Ablaza, at itong si Apinan. Those are the starters here in the third quarter. And this thrown away and a counter steal, however, para dito kay Rudy Linganay. They want to set things up right now for Villanueva, now to Linganay. For San Juan naman, it is Manzo. Kasama pa rin si Orlan, Wamar, Calma, Rodriguez. And itong si Paulo Hernandez. So 3 guards ang ginagamit dito ni Coach Randy Alcantara. Trying to up the tempo here in the third. Linganay from the outside. No. Rebound picked up by Rodriguez. Ikot ang bola ngayon. Papunta rito kay Jun Manzo. Boy, as he continued his stellar play from the last game until today. Rodriguez from 20. That is short. Villanueva battling for the rebound, and there's a hold on Ablaza.
Larry Rodriguez has had a couple of shots like that in this ball game, and that's usually money from the range coming dito from Larry Rodriguez.
Well, Ablaza's only whistled for a second. Let's see where that happened. Ablaza tried to use his arms to box out itong si JM Calma. Shot clock at 10. Hernandez tries to look for a better option. Rodriguez now. 4 on the shot clock for Larry. Tries to drop it off inside. Calma beats the shot clock. And the Knights back on top here, 40-38.
Nice drop pass there coming from Larry Rodriguez, seeing that John Ray Villanueva was on JM Calma in that occasion.
Linganay has been quiet so far today, and away from play, Hernandez nakalmut daw ang Tigre.
Parang may nakita na nga ako scratch mark dito kay
Right.
Jeric Teng.
Let's take a look at the delivery of the game brought to us by Grab Kitchen. That's Rodriguez to Calma. And of course, the Grab Kitchen, bukas na po ang kanilang Commonwealth and Bacoor branches. Pampanga branch is opening soon.
There's a mismatch here. It's Larry Rodriguez on Cedric Ablaza.
And that's gonna be a foul before the shot, a hold on itong si Orlan Wamar. You want to talk about mismatches. Orlan Wamar trying to guard somebody almost twice his size.
That's right. Another mismatch right there. Jexter Apinan drawing Orlan Wamar on the defensive end.
Shot clock reset to 14 now. San Juan with a 2-point lead, 40-38. Just underway dito po sa ating third quarter. Linganay gets it out. Ablaza for 3. In and out. Rebound picked up by Wamar. Here comes Hernandez bringing it down. Coming up on 8 minutes remaining here in the third. Paulo Hernandez coming off a 12-point performance against Muntinlupa. Manzo asking for a pick from Calma. Manzo on the baseline, tries to get it out, intercepted by Teng. We got a 4-on-2 going the other way. Jeric tries to drop it off. Great defense there by Paulo Hernandez. And Teng did not reestablish himself in bounds.
That was a late pass coming from Jeric Teng. John Ray Villanueva was already wide open on the right side. Hindi niya na kasi pinabuelo itong si John Ray Villanueva. Look at that here. He got tied up with Paulo Hernandez, but John Ray Villanueva, nobody near him, and could have went up already for that layup.
As we resume live action, dito 7:40 remaining. Ablaza taps that one out. Rodriguez was asking for it on the left side. And Clark Derije, who usually starts para dito sa koponan ng Pasig Santa Lucia, is now coming in for the first time to replace Jeric Teng.
Well, Clark Daria has been nursing a knee injury all this time. That's why he hasn't been getting a lot of minutes para dito kay Coach Bong de la Cruz.
Jun Manzo finding Larry Rodriguez. And San Juan now up by 4, 42-38. Linganay still cannot give Pasig their first basket of the third.
Napahirapan itong pressure defense ng San Juan Knights, itong Pasig Sta Lucia Realtors. Minamadali nila ang opensa nila.
Here's Wamar. He missed the 3 earlier, and that was a bullet dodge there by the Pasig Santa Lucia Realtors.
Wise move there by Cedric Ablaza to tell his troops to settle down.
Yeah, same thing with Rudy Lingana. They're going to run some motion offense here. Here's Apinan on the drive. The lefty tried to pass it out, but it was stolen. Manzo will wait. Too many white shirts. Good transition defense again for the Realtors. Now Manzo attacks. Manzo gets in! And a 6-0 run to open the third quarter. Para sa San Juan Knights go for gold. Has them up 44-38. The Realtors are still scoreless, and Jun Manzo makes it look so easy. Timeout called now by Bong de la Cruz. And this timeout is brought to us by Astig Roasters. Ibig sabihin, hindi pa po nakakascore itong Pasig Santa Lucia here in the third quarter. We were tied at 38. What is going on with Pasig? How come they can't seem to score?
Well, the pressure defense of the San Juan Knights has made it hard for them to set up their offense on the other end. Minamadali masyado ng Pasig itong opensa nila. They are forced to go for the quick baskets, kaya nahihirapan sila to get a score on the other end.
44-38 nga po. The pressure is on all the way to the backcourt for San Juan. Apinan has been doing a lot of ball carrying lately, but now Rudy Linganay will get this one across. 6:35 to play here in the third. Ivan Ludovice back in ngayon. Here's Linganay getting the pick. Lots of pick and roll actions, all being read well by San Juan. Ludovice from 14. Yes! Finally a basket for the Realtors.
See, that's what they want. Settle down, set their offense, and get a good shot.
44-40. Kabilangan, Orbeta hit a 3 earlier. He's in the game for the first time here in the third quarter. He will miss that time. Coming up on 6 minutes to go here in the third. Ludovice now getting it over to Ablaza as they try to look for the cutters. Out again to Linganay, and Manzo a little overzealous on defense. Might have clipped the veteran Rudy Linganay in the face.
And very apologetic there is Jun Manzo.
But again, that's respect shown to your number one, your elders, one of your elders. Number one, you know. Number two, a point guard that you might have looked up to when you were a kid.
Definitely.
Dirihe gets it out now to Linganay. Ludovice offline on his shot from beyond the arc. Here's Orlan Wamar with the rebound. They're running once again. The Knights are. Manzo all the way. Rebound picked up by Calma. Can't get the follow-up. At sabi ni Jexter Apinan, let's slow things down. Linganay will set it up once again. Derihe momentarily open. Catch and shoot three. Not there. Oh, Orbeta.
Okay.
I'm not sure about this call, but they say last touch daw si Ablaza. From our angle, it didn't look that way, but of course the referee was at the other side.
And Coach Bong de la Cruz begging for a reconsideration on that play.
Let's see it from this angle. Oh, the referees were right. Yan ang sinasabi kong hirap ng angle natin minsan eh. Ma-eclipse. That was the correct call by our referees. Give credit to them. Linganay with a hold.
Alvin Abando. Look at that, trying to seal Rudy Linganay in the post. You don't really see that. A youngster posting up a veteran on the block.
Tandaan natin, ito si Alvin Abando might have watched some of the games of Rudy Linganay when Rudy was in the PBA. Ito yung maging ehemplo. How I will enter the PBA is to play like Rudy Linganay. And true enough, it worked.
And so, he has been a pest, much like Rudy Linganay was when he was in the PBA.
That's right. Wamar, catch and shoot three, in and out. Jeric Teng is back in. 4:44 to play here in the third. Our score has not moved in over a minute. It's still 44-40 in favor of the Knights. Arana is back in. Dangerous pass, and somehow Tyrone Chan is able to recover, and John Orbeta could not help himself.
Well, lucky break there for Pasig Sta Lucia Realtors. That was an ill-advised pass by Justin Arana, but somehow it ended up with Tyrone Chan, and he drew the foul on John Orbeta.
Clarito will check in. Wamar will take a breather. Time down to 4:32 remaining. Dito sa ating third quarter. So Tyrone Chan at the free throw line to try to give the Realtors a chance to move in closer. These free throws brought to us by Wilson, the official basketball of the PhilBasket Subic Championship. Chan good on two. 44-42 ngayon. Here's Adrian Nocum. Trying to put the moves on Clark Darihe. Nocum on the floater. Nicely done.
Wise move there by Adrian Nocum. He knows that he has the speed advantage over Clark Darihe, and he knows that Clark Darihe is nursing that knee injury. That's why he's not able to move laterally so well yet.
So hindi nakatulong ang depensa that time nitong Pasig Santa Lucia. They swing it around now. Darihe wants it back. Three-pointer short. He has missed his first two attempts since coming in here in the third. A chance for San Juan to add to this lead. Abando, ang daming dinaanan. Turnaround, Ato Ular, good!
And the ball movement has been so fluid here for the San Juan Knights. Everybody getting touches and opportunities to get the ball through the hoop.
Back to a 6-point lead now for the Knights, 48-42. 3.5 to play sa ating third quarter. Jeric Teng on the drive, escapes the defense and scores. That was a pretty one coming from Jeric.
Nice recognition of Jeric Teng there to attack the middle of the defense. No one really giving resistance there.
Everybody's screaming for the defense here ng Pasig. You want to see that on your defense. Yung nag-uusap-usap nga sila lahat. Abando with the left hand. Good bother that time. Provided by Ludovice. And here comes Ivan. Ludovice on the pull-up. And there's going to be a whistle underneath. Looks like San Juan will be tagged with this one. And they are over the limit. So Adrian Nocum tatawagan. Tingnan mo naman dito. One step in, nobody there, and the looper drops para dito kay Jeric Teng. Now Justin Arana at the free throw line as itong Realtors huddle up. Again, very limited playing time. He's got, what, 2 points in this game?
That's already the 5th point actually.
Oh,
of
5
Justin
points.
Arana.
Para dito kay Justin Arana. Produkto ng Arellano University, 6'7", 23 years old. That's probably the biggest number there. 23 years old, and he's still growing.
Oh yeah. Ang ganda rin ng story nito ni Justin Arana. He was cut from the University of Santo Tomas and then found his way in Arellano, and there he got his break, and now he's trying to make a name for himself.
Well, he has been impressive, but a lot of potential being shown. There's another kid with a lot of potential, Adrian Nocum.
I don't think this kid has seen action yet in the NCAA, but when he does for the Mapua Cardinals, he is going to be so solid.
He's getting a lot of experience points here in Subic, that's for sure. Horns play. Ang tinawag dito ni Ludovice. They get it out to Chan. Now they run the high-low. Papunta rito kay Justin Arana. Arana. And that'll be free throws regardless. Rodriguez will be called for the foul.
What a dream come true for Justin Arana to be posting up some guy like Larry Rodriguez.
He did try to post up Ken Bono as well. So, hindi pala si Ken Bono. Sino sa Davao? Yung malaki nila? Si Jerwin Gacko.
Jerwin Gacko.
Yeah. So he learned a lot.
Jerwin Gacko hit the 3 earlier
Oh my
today.
goodness, that's news. The Gacko Natics will rejoice.
Tawag nga sa kanya ni Paulo Hubalde the gout.
Ang tawag naman ni Ken Bono kay Aaron Aban, the Thundercats. Sumasakit na daw kasi yung likod.
Aaron Aban, of course, not seeing action yet in this tournament.
He has. Kanina.
Oh, he played the
Naglaro
ball kanina.
na.
Okay,
Naglaro
okay.
na 5 minutes na kanina. Nakadalawang tira pa nga. Hindi lang pumasok. And his college teammate, si Boyet Bautista, is actually an assistant coach for FSD Makati Army. So when I saw Boyet, sinabi ko, ano ginagawa mo dyan? Pag ka, nakamaskara ka dyan. Dapat naglalaro ka dito. He said, the next time the opportunity comes, Boyet Bautista will play, and he's like, I want to see this guy. He can still ball.
I grew up watching Boyet Bautista.
Oh my gosh,
and
right?
Wow. Wow. Just wow. What a scorer he was at the point guard spot for the Letran Knights.
Isipin mo silang dalawa ni Ron J and Rile.
Oh yeah,
Diba? That
grabe.
was a great combination. So this is now a 50-48 lead for San Juan. Somebody hits the deck, and Abando at saka si Jeric Teng, 2 former PBA players, getting entangled that time. So Jeric Teng will get back to the free throw line. The game has slowed down in favor of Santa Lucia because they are going to the free throw line a lot. Wala pa sa penalty ang Realtors. So Jeric Teng at the line as Jun Manzo checks back in with 1:34 remaining in the third.
Both teams actually going to the line a lot in this game. That's 18 free throw tries already for Pasig Santa Lucia and 19 para dito sa San Juan Knights.
Teng is gonna split the free throws. It is down to a 1-point lead. Tandaan natin, Santa Lucia led by 12 in the first quarter. San Juan's biggest lead is 6, and they lose the ball. Bautista has it tapped from behind. Recovery still made by nobody. Ball is still loose. Clarito diving for it, saves it to Rodriguez, and they have the advantage going the other way. 3-on-2. The left-handed layup is gonna drop for Jun Manzo.
That's now 14 points in the ball game para dito kay Jun Manzo.
Ludovice lost his balance on the slick spot. Here comes Nocum on the alley-oop. That's a foul. It's not in the act of shooting. Tyrone Bautista, the guilty party.
A lot of bodies flying on the floor here.
Look at this. Ito yung sanhi ng slick spot earlier. Look at Jonner Clarito barely staying in bounds. And Jun Manzo, how pretty is that left-handed layup?
Well, he did that on the other side nung first half, but now making do on the left side with the wrong foot.
This is not supposed to be a shooting foul because it was an alley-oop play. Hindi pa nasasalo nung namigay ng foul itong si Tyrone Chan, and this is the correct call. Inbound, Clarito. Almost telegraphs that one to Manzo. Oh, Manzo somehow still had possession after the tap. And John Clarito lost his balance. Madulas din daw doon sa side niya. Wamar, inside to Calma.
Jeric Teng already looking up at the shot, thinking he would go for that floater already, but opting to pass it at the last second to JM Calma.
29 seconds remaining in the third. Teng against everybody. Jeric Teng on the fall away. Wala. Arana, nakipagtapikan. Clarito wins out. 5-point lead now for the Knights. 54-49. And the last shot can be taken by the Knights. Here comes the pick by Calma. And a foul given up by Jeric Teng.
That's a foul to give.
So they're out of fouls to give dito. 5.1 remaining here in the third. Nocum's going to check back in. So they're going to look for one of those alley-oop plays once again for this kid.
Well, I think they recognize that it's going to be pretty hard to stay in front of this kid. Talking about Adrian Nocum. So maybe an isolation or maybe another alley-oop play, and there it is.
They do it. They just didn't get it. Still a chance here for Pasig. Japs Bautista at the buzzer. That would have counted. So at the end of three, the San Juan Knights go for gold. Have taken a 5-point lead, 54-49. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from that third quarter. It all started once again with a heady play of the guards of the Knights led by Jun Manzo. Orlan Wamar also had his moments here. Pero makita rin natin Adrian Nocum with that sick turnaround on the floater. Jeric Teng starting to catch fires. He defied the defense there as well to try and keep Pasig Sta in it. But again, too much San Juan so far. The guards are looking to pass it off to the bigs as JM Calma scores. And it is a 54-49 lead for the Knights heading in to the fourth quarter. Back with us here at the Subic Bay Gym. Sa ilang sandali, magsisimula na itong ating fourth quarter. It is 54-49. The San Juan Knights go for gold, led by that backcourt tandem of Jun Manzo and Orlan Wamar. Have erected a 5-point lead here. Let's see what Jexter Apinan and the rest of the Pasig Sta Lucia Realtors do here in the fourth, brought to us by Coco Life.
Here your quarter scoring right here. 22-14 in the first quarter. Second period was won by the San Juan Knights, as well as the third quarter, 16-11. And the glaring stat in that third quarter, only 2 out of 12 from the field itong Pasig Sta Lucia Realtors, although they were 7 out of 8 from the free throw line, which kept them in the game.
Well, back to zero mga team fouls dito. Let's see if they can start manufacturing free throws early as Jexter Apinan tries the up and under move. There is foul number 1. And on the first foul of San Juan, may free throws pang kasama. That's number 3 now on JM Calma.
Well, habang wala namang maging masyadong field goals itong Pasig Sta Lucia Realtors in that third quarter, wala namang free throws ang inattempt itong San Juan Knights in that third quarter.
That's very interesting. You can see their coach Bong de la Cruz as we segue to Jexter Apinan, who has just hit his first free throw. 2 for 2 now. So 54-51. Kakaumpisa lang po nitong ating fourth quarter, and there's that floating 1-2-2 na nilalaro dito ng Pasig. Try to slow down itong San Juan Knights. Go for gold. Tough shot that time by Jun Manzo. Calma with the offensive rebound, however. They will reset. 10 to shoot now. Manzo on the attack. Manzo with a left hand.
He has defied the defense a lot of times in this game. No matter who went up against him, he still manages to sink the basket.
I think the game against Muntinlupa has opened the doors for him. Backdoor play now for Ryan Costello. Battle for the rebound. Dami nakapula doon, pero Clarito nahiga sa guhit.
Jonard Clarito meets the floor once again.
What else is new? Let's take a look at how Jun Manzo just dissects the defense. And think about may hang time na yan. Is he really left-handed? Or he had lots of left-handed finishes? Kasi yung tinatawag na cross dominance. That, like we all know, LeBron James is left-handed.
Oh yeah.
But he plays right-hand dominant. 56 to 51. Linganay, the lefty, gets it over now to Japs Bautista. Rudy needs to get involved here in the offense. That is going to be an obvious one on Jexter Pinan. Thanks to our friends from Coco Life, our official partner here in the Phil Basket Subic Championship. And I keep on belaboring the point, you do not stick out your behind when you are setting a pick. Look at this, behind.
Very obvious there.
So here's Manzo now. San Juan's largest lead stood at 6 points. Battle for the rebound. Ato Ular now makes it a 7-point lead.
Jexter Apinan was left at the top near the free throw line, kaya no opportunity for any Pasig Sta Lucia Realtor to get the basketball there.
Ablaza has been quiet here in the second half. Let's see if he can make some noise. He had 8 points in the first half. They'll try Costello again. He misses again. Battle for the rebound. Calma. At itong si Apinan, they get entangled. So Calma will be called for his fourth. As we see this last bit of action once again. Pagdating sa offensive rebounding, Ato Ular flexing his muscles.
Well, tatandaan natin, itong Santa Lucia, they won their past 3 games by an average margin of 15 points. Almost 16 points actually, highlighted by that 20-point victory over FSD Makati Army. So this is uncharted territory for them in this past 4 games that they had.
Well, Japs Bautista able to hit a 3, Javi.
Yeah, they're not really used to being down in the 4th quarter at this point. But titingnan natin if a comeback is in the works. They are just down by 4 points, 7:32 to go.
Mahaba-habang oras pa ito. Arvin Gamboa has not really been part of the rotation tonight, but he will give JM Calma a bit of a breather. 8 to shoot now for San Juan. Inbound pass goes to Ato Ular, thinking 3. 5 to shoot right now. Adrian Nocum looks up at the shot clock. Gets it over to Clarito. Lets it fly. Yes! And that will erase the Japs Bautista 3 earlier.
That's only Clarito's second basket sa ating ball game. He did make a 3-point shot in the first quarter.
Another backdoor play, but this time it explodes as Lingana is not able to catch the pass from Costello.
Settle down. That's all Pasig Sta Lucia needs to do right now.
Jonard Clarito. Catch and shoot perfectly square when he took that one. Less than 7 minutes to go. Gamboa lost it. And here comes Rudy Linganay now into the front court. Linganay stops. Ablaza fakes the 3. And he will drive. There's nothing much you can do about it when Cedric Ablaza drives and you're not ready.
Yep, that's right. Favorite move na talaga yan. When he gets it atop the 3-point area, syempre everybody thinks that he's gonna take the 3. That's why they challenge it.
Clarito again. Can't hit it this time. And a foul on Pasig. Number 4 on Rudy. And he will take a seat as Ivan Ludovice will check back in. John Orbeta is also going to come in. Gamboa has really not had any form of rhythm here today. Manzo, they are resting Wamar, and he's been resting since the start of this 4th quarter. Up and under move. Too strong that time. Ular again. Tapi ka ng bola. It's still loose. And the recovery made by Manzo in the backcourt. Ato Ular with a looper, almost got it to go.
Ato Olar has been very solid in this game, giving quality minutes para dito kay Coach Randy Alcantara.
Oh, he has played more minutes than Larry Rodriguez. Here's Apinan. It's a very shallow zone, and Ular knew he had no teammates to help him. So he gives up a preemptive foul. Team foul number 3 here for the Knights. They still have 1 foul to give. Oh, knockout play! And the basket counts plus the foul. John Orbeta did not see where Jexter Apinan was. He was being screened out.
Look at that back pick by Japs Bautista. And no help on the right side of the baseline coming from the San Juan Knights.
Jexter Apinan slowly, yung kanyang production dito is starting to become a factor.
That's already the 8th point of Jexter Apinan, going for 9 here at the line.
And after missing his first 2 free throws, he has been quite steady from the stripe. The lead is down to 2 for the San Juan Knights. Go for gold, 61-59. Timeout called by Randy Alcantara. And this timeout is brought to us by Astig Roasters.
Yep.
Back with us here sa ating third and final matchup sa araw na ito. And it has been a close one. Pasig Santa Lucia Realtors kontra dito sa San Juan Knights. Go for gold. Noel Zarate pa rin po kasama si Javi Palanya. And on the entry pass to Ato Ular, a foul is called on Cedric Ablaza. Pangatlo na yan para kay Ablaza. And Santa Lucia is down to 1 more foul to give.
But the San Juan Knights already in the penalty. Still 5 and 38 to go. Titingnan natin if Pasig Santa Lucia Realtors will be able to use this to their advantage.
Inbound play ngayon para kay Jun Manzo. Babad na babad dito sa ating ball game. Quick release para dito kay Adrian Nocum. Does not work. And the save that is off the leg of Jun Manzo.
And we still have not seen Ato Olar in this 4th quarter.
Ayan, Ato Ular is in the 4th quarter. Kanina pa nandyan. Ito si Ato Ular. Baka si Larry sinasabi mo.
Orlan Wamar pala.
Orlan Wamar. Tataka ko siya, kanina pa kaya gumagawa? No, but that's part of fatigue already. Happy pala. We're all in it together. Here's Apinan. Recovery made once again by the Realtors. And they throw it away. Orbeta ahead to Clarito. And he goes airborne and he is blocked by Cedric Ablaza, but a foul underneath.
That foul is going to be on Ludovice. Let's see that right here again. Ludovice already fouled Clarito before Ablaza was able to go up for the block.
And down he goes again. Itong si Jonard Clarito. I'm sure Coach Toto Duhilio is very proud of his product out of the De Ocampo Memorial College Cobras. As we thank our friends from Wilson, the official basketball of the Phil Basket Subic Championships. Clarito has actually improved already from the free throw line. I think I said this in a previous coverage. But it's still not at the consistency he'd like to have it. Splits the free throws. Abante ay 4 para sa Knights. Nagtatatlo para sa Knights, 62-59. Halfway mark now of the 4th. Apinan is waiting for the pick. Ludovice does not give it back. He gets it inside to Cedric Ablaza. Was bothered from behind there by Nocum. Here come the red shirts now of San Juan. And lost the ball. Etong si Jun Manzo, who was a little too fast for his own good.
Out of control there. Sumobra na si Nitros.
Ano ba palayo nito naglalaro sa UP?
Well, the hitman ang tawag sa kanya ngayon, but I don't think he was called like that in college.
Ludovice was slow to get up on the other end. He seems to be okay. We didn't even know that he was at the other end. Yeah, Ludovice is going to take a seat. They're going to check on him. So Jeric Tang is back in. 62-59, 4:44 to go in the fourth. Here's the pressure of San Juan once again. Oh, he picked up his dribble in the backcourt. And Apinan finally gets it across. Needed to cheat a bit to get that done. He threw the ball towards the front court.
That's just the veteran smarts coming from Jexter Apinan.
Ryan Costello gets it out. Ablaza puts it on the floor again. Hang time move for Cedric Ablaza. The lead is down to 1.
Second time he's done that this quarter.
62-61. Coming up on 4 minutes remaining. Still no sign of Orlan Wamar. You are right there, Javi. He has not played the entire fourth quarter. Manzo. Clarito for 3. Good! Clutch basket after clutch basket for Jonard Clarito.
Clarito, that's now already 10 points in the ball game and second straight three-pointer from that spot.
Orlan Wamar getting ready to check in. Apinan has had no rest here in the fourth. Tang blocked from behind and he will recover. Tang for 3. Way off.
That was off the moment he released it.
3 minutes and 20 remaining in the fourth. Nocum, pick being provided by Ular. Sona pa rin ang nilalaro dito na depensa ng Pasig. 4 on the shot clock. Nocum has to hoist this up. Way off again. Here comes Bautista now, leading the charge. Getting it to Costello, who will wait. Bautista will not wait. He wants to attack and he is hit. Both teams in the penalty. Number 3 para dito kay Ato Ular. Let's take a look at our TikTok move of the game. Brought to us by TikTok. The hang time move. There's really not much elevation in Cedric Ablaza. He just stays in the air a really long time.
Amazing body control there by Cedric Ablaza. But Japs Bautista on this occasion didn't settle for the 3. Wise move there. Driving to the basket. Alam niyang penalty situation itong San Juan Knights.
And Bautista now with 2:53 remaining. No problem on the first. Coach Bong de la Cruz knows that there's still a lot of time remaining, but they need to make their move now. Good on 2.
And once again, the STI Olympian connection leading the way here for the Pasig Sta Lucia Realtors. They have 12 apiece.
But will it be enough? They're down by 2. Rodriguez going cross-court. Wide open, Alvin Abando. Rebound picked up by Jeric Tang. Pagkakataong tumabla o lumamang para sa Pasig Sta Lucia Realtors. Apinan, 2.5 to go. Tang posting up Abando. Tang still has it. Tang muscles his way in inside to Ablaza. And Jexter Apinan can't get the follow-up. Tapikan ng bola, napunta kay Wamar, and here comes San Juan. Here's Abando. Blocking foul. Good call. That is a good call. Both of them were moving. And Costello stopped moving at a certain point. Explain to us, Javi, why this is a blocking foul.
There you see there, no position established. Ryan Costello was still moving his feet there. And no charge will be called on that occasion because yun nga, gumagalaw pa si Ryan Costello. If Ryan Costello beat Alvin Abando to the spot, then that would have been merited an offensive foul.
We have a timeout called, a 2-point lead for San Juan. Habang tumitira ang dalawang free throws si Alvin Abando, I'd like to take this opportunity to greet Coach Willie Chan of the Head Start Sports Academy. Yan ang bossing ng mga statsman natin dito. Si Poy Abalos, Mark Abalos, pati na rin si Chicoy de Tablan. Yan ang kanilang bossing, si Willie Chan. Napakagaling at napakakulit na mama. Abando missed on the first and hit the second. So earlier during the timeout, the three-pointer of Jonard Clarito was changed to a two-point field goal. Naka-stepping daw siya doon.
So that's a big development here. So now the score is just a 2-point lead para dito sa San Juan Knights. They have the opportunity to take the lead or tie the game here. Talking about the Pasig Sta Lucia Realtors.
Last 2 minutes na po tayo hatid sa atin ng TM Surf 99. Unproductive that time itong si Cedric Ablaza. 3-game winning streak on the line here for Pasig Santa Lucia, but more importantly, playoff positioning as well. Nice seal inside by Clarito.
Clarito has really a knack for hitting the big shots in the end game.
Here's Tang. No whistle came, so he decided to pass it off to Hapinan instead of trying to force up the three. Hapinan now on the drive. Gets it to Costello, and he scores. Here comes Jun Manzo once again. So back to the UV Baby Lancers connection as we see that last shot by Ryan Costello. 67-65. 1 minute and 15 remaining in regulation. Si Javi nga pala partner ko ngayon, ano? My goodness. Turn around, Clarito again! Number 4 on Ablaza. And somehow, ito si Clarito won the position battle against the burly Cedric Ablaza. Back to another 2-possession lead for San Juan. Clarito completes the 3-point play and a timeout called by Bong de la Cruz. 70 San Juan Knights, 65 Santa Lucia Realtors. And we have a timeout brought to us by Stig Roasters. Pasalamatan po natin ang ating mga kaibigan sa Subic Bay Metropolitan Authority, pati na rin ang Central Luzon Regional Task Force as we wind down to the final 1 minute and 7 seconds remaining in regulation. 70 for the San Juan Knights, go for gold. 65 for the Pasig Santa Lucia Realtors. Noel Zarate pa rin po kasama si Javi Palanya. This is the final game for today. We will have a doubleheader tomorrow and we will announce our schedule at the conclusion of this game. They have 14 to shoot. Dangerous pass. Costello gets it back for 3. Good!
No hesitation coming from Ryan Costello, hitting that 3 from the right wing after that basket from close range.
And Javi, that play took all of 4 seconds. Less than a minute to go in regulation. Calma has it poked away. And the recovery made by Ryan Costello. Ahead now to Japs Bautista. He elects to drive, drops it off to Ablaza, who is fouled. And Ablaza is steamed at himself for not hitting that point-blank shot. And Larry is wondering why the foul was called on him. Let's see that one again if we can. Let's see this one again. Well, there was contact.
He got him on the body. That was clear. That was clear. It was a good challenge up top, but he got him on the body. A little hip check there.
Akala niya siguro si Calma ang tatawagan dito. And Rodriguez is still having words with our officials. So Cedric Ablaza with a chance to tie. 42 seconds remaining. 12 points, 5 rebounds. Ano ba shooting niya from the free throw line tonight? Well, he makes the first.
Those are actually the second and third free throw attempts para dito kay Cedric Ablaza. He missed his first.
Makes good on 2, and we are tied at 70. It is now the turn of Randy Alcantara to call a ceasefire with 42 seconds to go. 70 all, timeout on the floor, and we will stay on. Sabi ng ating demanding floor director na si Tikboy, kahit may 42 seconds, no gap. Sabi ni Tikboy, narinig mo yun? No gap, no gap, no gap. Tatlong beses pa niya inulit eh.
So
Let's talk about that.
If the San Juan Knights lose in this ball game, they will tie Burlington EOG and Nueva Ecija Best Friend at 5 and 3. Kung ang Pasig Sta Lucia naman na matalo ngayon, they will tie Medical Depot and M-Trans Boracay de la Ia Batangas City Tanduay Athletics at 4 and 4.
So again, both teams are actually at 4 and 3. So anybody can go up to 5 and 3, and then the other one's going to go down to 4 and 4. Yung 5 and 3, maganda-ganda yun because you're now in the cusp of, you're going to be tying for the guys who are at the 3rd and 4th spot.
That's right.
Tandaan natin na AICC Manila is still hot. They have a 6-game win streak up at 7-1. Davao lost earlier today, but they're still number 2 at 7 and 2. So they will inbound in the front court. Etong si Jun Manzo with Larry Rodriguez. Jonard Clarito, Ato Ular is back in. Pati na rin ito si Orlan Wamar.
Let's see who they're gonna set up here on offense. Jonard Clarito has been hot.
Ito na, sinasabihan ng mga referees, Hoy Bautista, ano ginagawa mo dyan?
They have been so sweet in this game.
I'm sure they're really friends outside the court. Wamar has it. Pick comes out from Ato Ular.
There's a
They
switch.
get the switch, yes. They get the switch they want. Orlan Wamar gets it over to Ular, who overshoots it. Follow-up is missed, but a foul with 28.2 remaining and 1 on the shot clock. Number 4 on Bautista, who can't believe it. I'm not quite sure if this was a play engineered for Ular, but look at the position of Larry Rodriguez, the veteran out of the Philippine Maritime Institute, former PBA player as well. Missing on the first. Now, if you make the free throw, do you call a timeout or no? Tingin ko no eh, di ba?
Yeah, I mean, it's good for them to just be able to get points, seconds off the clock right now.
Rodriguez on the split, no timeout coming here. But the San Juan press will be on.
Well, actually, wala na rin pala silang opportunity to call a timeout because they already have no timeouts
Oh,
left
that's
in this
right.
ballgame.
They just lost all their timeouts now. So it is now up to the boys. A 1-point lead for San Juan, 71-70. Costello. Shot clock at 10. Costello on the drive, on the fake. Ablaza for the shoot. Ablaza, hang time move, wala. Rebound picked up by Ular. And they foul with 3.8 seconds remaining. Tandaan natin that Pasig is out of timeouts. That was a clean look for Cedric Ablaza, and that's the guy you want shooting if you're Pasig. Oh, Japs was open.
He was bothered by the defense there of Ato Ular. Hits the double clutch shot there.
So Wamar with a chance to extend this lead. Regardless of result, it will still be a one-possession lead as Wamar missed the first.
There's still time here.
Yeah. Pasig is out of timeouts.
You've seen weirder things happen.
Splits it. 72-70. Apinan gets it over now to Teng. 2 seconds. 1 second. Jerick at the buzzer. Oh, almost got it to go. And it will be a victory for the San Juan Knights. Go for gold as Boss Buddy Encarnado applauds the effort of his boys. And the San Juan Knights are actually more concerned about the guy who's on the deck right now, Jexter Apinan. Seems to have lost his balance, and the Knights are actually surrounding him right now. Concern for Jexter Apinan. At the end of the day, this is just a game, ladies and gentlemen. And they're all friends here. But what a win here for the San Juan Knights. Go for gold, and the winning streak of the Pasig Santa Lucia Realtors is now stopped at 3. Let's take a look at the final play again, Javi. Oh, there was knee-to-knee action between Wamar and Apinan, and look at how close Jeric Teng came from winning the game. Apinan, that's the concern right now. He's still on the ground after knocking knees with Orlan Wamar. But that is the result at the end of regulation, 72-70. The San Juan Knights go for gold, coming off with the win against the Pasig Santa Lucia Realtors. And my partner Javi Palanya is now with his fellow UP Maroon, our Coco Life best player of the game, Jun Manzo.
Thank you, Noel. And we are with our Coco Life best player of the game, Jun Manzo. Jun, before nung game ng Muntinlupa Defenders, combined 5 points lang yung na-score mo and then you hit 16. Nasasabi mo ba na nakukuha mo na ulit yung kumpiyansa mo dito sa laro natin?
Oo, nakukuha ko na yung kumpiyansa. And papasalamat din ako sa mga coaching staff sa San Juan kasi kahit na bad start yung laro ko, parang binibigyan pa rin nila ako kumpiyansa, parang hindi sila, parang binibigyan nila akong tiwala. Kaya malaking tulong sa akin sa kumpiyansa ko na kailangan maglaro talaga ng maayos.
So gaano ka-importante itong magandang laro mo na pinapakita coming into the playoffs?
Siguro, hindi lang ako magkumpiyansa, tuloy-tuloy pa rin yung laro na pinapakita ko ngayon kasi back-to-back na nanalo kami. And malaking tulong din yung last game kasi doon ko nakuha talaga yung kumpiyansa ko. And yun nga, one game at a time kami kasi nung una parang hindi naman kami, parang tinitingnan ng mga tao na hindi kami malakas. Pero yun nga, sumusunod kami sa sistema nila ng San Juan kaya nananalo kami.
Alright, thank you Jun. So baka may mga gusto ko batiin?
Binabati ko yung si Senator Jinggoy. Nagpapasalamat kami kasi hindi niyo kami pinabayaan at patuloy niyo sumuporta kahit na busy ka ngayon sa pangangapan niya. Maraming salamat po Senator Jing and sa mga sponsor ng San Juan. Siyempre kay Boss Jai Reyes na ng liga kasi kung wala tong liga, wala kami ngayon sa mga harapan niyo. Maraming salamat sa inyong lahat. And sa girlfriend ko, sa family niya, and yung family ko na nasipit, and yung papa ko nasa abroad.
Alright, once again, that was Jun Manzo, our Coco Life best player of the game. Let's swing it back over to Noel to wrap this baby up.
Alright, we're going to have a rare doubleheader tomorrow. As we confirm our final score, the San Juan Knights go for gold, taking this one 72-70, a nail-biter over the Pasig Santa Lucia Realtors. Game time will be at 5 p.m. First game po natin, Burlington EOG Sports taking on Medical Depot. That should be an interesting matchup. And in our 7-10 game, it will be the FSD Makati Army taking on the Muntinlupa Defenders. Once again, follow us on all our social media accounts on YouTube, on Facebook, and on TikTok. And that's going to do it for us for day number, nawala yung aking script. Ayan, day number 15 of competition dito po sa ating Phil Basket Subic Championship. Sa ngalan ng aking partner si Javi Palanya and all the hardworking men and women of Phil Basket. Dito po si Noel Zanate. We'll see you tomorrow sa patuloy na paghatid namin sa inyo ng aksyon mula po dito sa Subic and the Phil Basket Subic Championship presented by Coco Life.